It's at least a get-out-of-jail-free answer instead of stumbling and bumbling around. That's what happens when you're dumb, and I do believe AOC is dumb. Not to be mean, but to be mean. She's dumb.
From Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. Lots to do on a busy Tuesday in the studio again. Slick Rick is not here. There's a Slickster. Slickster had an emergency. And unfortunately, I just went through this emergency, although it was minus 13 when I went through it. I don't know what's going on at Slick's, but Slicks thinks he's got water coming in his basement.
He's retaining water?
No, he's not retaining. Yeah, maybe. So hopefully Slickster will get that figured out. I don't know if he'll make it back or not, but if he does, great. If he doesn't, I hope everything is on the home front. So Slickster's dealing with that. Rick Delgado's here, though. He's going to do some main headlines. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am good.
How was the day? Oh, jeez.
My day was good till about an hour ago. And I had time to kill, Damon. And what happens when Rick has time to kill? Oh, he goes down rabbit holes.
Okay.
This whole Epstein thing has just got me. It just it just ruined my entire day.
Just as I got 24 hours removed from last night's show, here we go again.
And it has to do with UFOs. I'll share it later. I just don't want to talk about it.
Share it at 10:05. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. Mr. Downey Jr., how are you?
I'm lovely. Thank you, Big D.
Hair's looking good tonight?
Thank you. I did nothing to it. But the way it landed today.
You don't say.
Okay. How was your day?
Lovely, thanks. I didn't find any space monster stories, but I am going down. I'm not going to talk about it, but the Epstein thing is getting grotesque.
Oh, jeez. Well, no, I know that, but I mean, just if I had to pick between you and Delgado, which one was more nuts, I probably would have picked you before I knew both of you. But honestly, surprisingly, you're not even in the same stratosphere as Delgado.
Wait a second now.
Well, what? That's fair.
That's not fair.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
It's dead spot on. What are you talking about?
I have no clue.
Why would you pick me before you knew me? Like, what made you go, that guy's nuts?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I listened to your show, I guess.
There you go.
I don't know.
That's fair enough.
Maybe it was the hair that I would have thought, well, he's got to be nuts.
Yeah, it's got to be the hair.
But no, you're and Delgado's the one who's nuts. So, joining us from West Palm Beach, Studio Real America's Voice Studios in West Palm Beach is Vinnie Mac, Vincent Buta. Vin, you look far away. We need to zoom that shot in a little bit. It's way too wide. What's going on, though?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy to be the voice of sanity, between KDJ and Delgado. So I'm happy to be that here at the 75-degree weather West Palm Beach office. Thank you very much. Wearing my short sleeve shirt. I appreciate that. It's so good to be out of the New York cold.
Why do you feel like you have to hold your arm up for us to see that it's short sleeves? We can see that it's short sleeves.
Yeah, Nazi.
Yeah. And your chicken wing.
Yeah. Vin was flexing in front of the camera pre-show.
There you go. Yeah.
And I mean, it's just.
I have my BBs.
And what was he flexing?
Yeah, I don't know. I said to the person I was speaking to at the time, I said, "Ma'am, stop getting in front of the camera," and then I realized it was Vin.
Yeah. So, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, listen, I identify as a man, so it's okay. You can say that.
All right, good. Well, we're going to kick off. So I don't know if Slick's going to be here or not. We hope everything's okay. But there's still a lot of news to get to. If you're following us in the social medias at Real AM Voice on YouTube, glad you're in. At LFS6B, pretty much everywhere else. Glad you're in. If you're watching on the chat, we'll get to you during the breaks. If you're watching on Real America's Voice all across the country, we always appreciate you giving us a few hours of your weekday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. right here all across the country on Real America's Voice. Lots to talk about. Delgado, and I guess one of the headlines today is, the passing of Jesse Jackson. I saw I saw that Joe Biden was he sent his condolences out to Tito, Jermaine, and Janet. So what else is what's the story here?
Well, again, the headline, and I saw this real early because again, I get up super early in the morning for my other job. But the Reverend Jesse Jackson passing away, pioneering civil rights activist and racial pathfinder, died at the age of 84. The Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, a towering civil rights leader whose moral vision and fiery oratory reshaped the Democratic Party in America, died according to his son. He was 84. Jackson was the protege of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., had been hospitalized in recent months and was under observation for progressive supranuclear palsy. He died early this morning, surrounded by his family, according to a statement from his nonprofit social justice organization, the Rainbow Push Coalition. They wrote this in the statement: his unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and human rights helped shape a global movement for freedom and dignity, a tireless change agent. He elevated the voice of the voiceless from his presidential campaigns in the 80s to mobilizing millions to register the vote, leaving an indelible mark on history. And again, that's the statement coming from the organization he founded, the Rainbow Push Coalition. He was what one pundit called an American original, born to an unwed teenage mom in Greenville, South Carolina, during the Jim Crow, the Charles Schumer Jim Crow era, but rose to become a civil rights icon and groundbreaking politician who mounted 2 electrifying runs for the presidency in the 1980s. Mm-hmm. So there you have it. The death of an icon. You know what? And now that I see he's passed, I've noticed that we haven't seen a lot from the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the last few years. I didn't realize he was this ill.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with any of those qualifications of his. A Christian minister who took a hard left turn because of politics into left and came to support abortion, same-sex marriage, racial ideology. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what anyone would say, if you're being totally honest, that he did for race relations in this country, at least in our lifetime, other than make them worse. Vin, you have a thought here?
I do. I mean, I agree with you, Damon, but I saw a quote today that I'm going to read that just makes me so mad, and I thought it was just so weak and pathetic. For whatever you have to say about Jesse Jackson, he had a long life. He was part of the civil rights movement. I don't think he used that in the best way afterwards. But Al Sharpton decided he's going to say something about it, and he said, "He taught me that protest must have purpose, that faith must have feet, and that justice is not seasonal, it's daily work." This from the guy that extorted just about everybody in New York and anywhere else he went to pay him, or he would have a protest. This is the protest must have purpose. And the only purpose that Al Sharpton came away from was pay me. That's how Al Sharpton made money. All that money went into his foundation. And he would protest products. He'd protest stores. He'd protest any nonsense he could to intimidate people and businesses to acquiesce to whatever the heck he wanted them to. And he used race to do that. So if that's his way of thanking Jesse Jackson, shame on him, because if that's a result of Jackson's movement, he created a monster with Al Sharpton. And by the way, I don't remember Jackson saying anything about Al Sharpton's antics, but I do remember photos with Donald Trump and Jesse Jackson when they were honoring Donald Trump for the work and money and all those things he did for the black community in New York City. So that's my memory of Jesse Jackson. And I figured I'd just throw an Al Sharpton insult in there because he's a buffoon and he put out a quote that I thought was grotesque for an extorter that he is.
Tom Fitton from Judicial Watch tonight says Jesse Jackson may have been an important American political figure, but he was corrupt, supported by terrorists, turned much of the civil rights movement into an extortion racket, shakedown operation, was a bigot, etc.
Yeah, there you go.
Kevin Downey Jr.?
It's all true. Remember, this clown would go up to a business in, let's say, Utica, New York. They say, hey, you've got a factory here in Utica. I know that the black population is 17%, but only 12% of your workers are black. That means we're going to have some outrage here, and you can pay me to go away. and I can call it off, or we can have a bunch of my people hold signs that says your company is racist, and people would cave. And remember, he got sued because he said, I'm going to give some of this money to the black communities where they're being robbed, and he kept it all. They actually sued him. Black communities around the nation sued him to get some of that money that he said he was going to give to the black community, but did not. I think he's a reprehensible human being.
Steve Guest tonight on X says, never forget that Jesse Jackson spent the last few years of his life pushing the anti-Semitic efforts to divest from companies that do any business with Israel. So he spent the last part of his life doing that as well. So a complicated legacy might be a nice way to say it. But
I think that's the best way to say it, sure.
Okay. What else is going on?
Especially when you consider everything that he was attached to. I mean, I did have a clip of him, extolling the virtues of one young Donald Trump that Vin mentioned, doing this long, 90-second introduction talking about, I'm introducing a man who is a builder and a builder of people and blah, blah, blah. He goes through this whole introduction because, let's face it, him and President Trump are friends. During the 80s, when Jesse was running for president, President Trump was donating money to him, and so you got that going for you, which is nice, I guess, if you're Jesse Jackson. But yeah, I mean, complicated.
Did you say you have a clip? Are you playing it?
I did.
Oh, you don't have it.
It didn't make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Transport.
It didn't make it through the transfer.
What a setup not to have it.
Well, I tried to emulate the clip, Dave.
Oh, okay.
Did that for about 2 seconds.
Okay, very good.
I just want to introduce, and then I just talked.
Okay.
Because
there
I
we go.
didn't have the clip.
All right, very good. What
Damon.
else is yes?
May I add one thing? That Martin Luther King, however, the man that he's a disciple of, was a great man. He said great things. I think he stood for peace genuinely, and I don't think he extorted things like these guys do. So I want to separate the two, Jesse Jackson and really what Martin Luther King did.
Yeah, didn't he try to kind of profit off that relationship as well, Jesse Jackson?
Of course.
I was there. I was there when it all happened. That kind of stuff.
He leveraged it. He leveraged all of that into this power center that KDJ and you and we're all talking about. He leveraged that. He ran on the coattails of a very respectable guy in the sense of, civil rights and everything, who ran on peace and I thought, was a very thoughtful guy. He extorted that in a sense. He disrupted that into a really perverted version of what Jesse Jackson became. He used that to extort.
If you want to read something positive, you can read Richard Brookhiser today at Over in National Review, who says there were some good political speakers in the 80s. John Connolly, all but forgotten, had the rhythms of a Southern stump. Mario Cuomo knew how to forge through the applause. Ronald Reagan. And then there was a young Jesse Jackson, and he says that he, as a young Jesse Jackson, was the cream of the crop in front of a microphone. So if you want to read something positive, you could go read that today over in National Review. All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Just getting started on a Tuesday night. We'll do some more news with all the boys when we get back right after this.
Aaron, line it up.
Aaron's not here.
I know.
So
you're no Aaron.
All right, so I'm going to take this slick stuff out here because obviously he ain't going to be back. So that's going to go. So we're just going to have to just finagle around. So we'll move A3 down to B1 now.
I don't even have the lineup there. Did you send it out?
I did.
Okay. Let me see. Did you text it or email?
Text.
Here you go. Yeah, 7:14. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He's got so many texts flying in, Damon. You know how important and busy he is? He doesn't have time for you.
That's, well, I didn't want to have to be the one to say that, but I appreciate that, Delgado.
No
you happen to be correct, sir.
I'll take the heat. You know what? I commented on one of your posts today.
Saw
one of your Democrat friends. I kind of slammed him pretty good.
So Delgado, do you want me to move C2 right now up so you can do that with B1?
Yeah, I'm doing the Epstein stuff together, and then you've got the C3 is also. That's a clip. That's not even a story.
Okay, so I'll move this all up to right now.
Like I'm looking for cuts and the cut. Yeah, okay. You'll see where I go. Play along.
All right, so here's what you're doing. You're doing the top one.
Yep.
Then you're doing Wasserman.
Yep.
Then you're doing Tucker.
Yes.
Okay, and then we're going to Vin.
Correct.
Got it. And then I'm going to move Kevin.
Yeah, where's Kevin going? Kevin, where are you going?
No one knows.
No one knows.
I'm wacky.
He's going
Kevin,
out for typhoon.
I've seen some
later.
pole dancing pictures, by the way, Kevin, just so you know.
You saw my pole dancing?
I saw someone's.
Oh, Jessica?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, she lives for that now.
She is putting them out.
It's only a matter of time till she's a coke hooah working at a strip club.
It's only a matter of time before you're doing it too.
Yeah, you're trying to kid. Get out there, shake it, baby.
Yeah, work it. Chat live. Are we live in the chat, Damon?
Yeah.
Okay, live in the chat. Sorry, we got a whole new studio right now. Trying to catch up. And Aaron's not. You know what it is? Aaron's not here.
All right, Tuesday night, live from Studio 6B. Turn it up a little, Harry. We can't hear it. There you go. Live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Fran on the big board again. Harry on the highway, spinning them tunes.
No.
Aaron's on vacation.
Oh, no.
Is there vacation over yet? No. Slick Rick's off. He's got some issues at home, some water coming in the basement. Slick's just texted us that the plumber just got there. So hopefully they stop the water. But he's not going to be here. So Delgado's going to have headlines. Kevin Downey Jr.'s got some news. Vinnie Mac is in West Palm Beach. He's going to have some news as well. Let's get back to Rick Delgado's got main headlines. We talked a little bit about Jesse Jackson. What else is the big news of the day?
Oh, my God. Now that you're mentioning that, I mean, I my heart goes out to Slick. I hope his wardrobe survives all this extra water coming into his place. So
well, trust me, it was in the basement, so he was moving quick, but the only thing that would have moved him quicker if he heard it was in his closet.
That's true.
Yeah.
My shoes!
Yeah.
My shoes!
So,
anyhow, Damon, this coming from John Solomon, the prophet John Solomon, at Just the News, as he writes, the top elites are losing power and position over the Epstein fallout. I was talking about it yesterday. I was talking about it on Friday. I was talking about it last week. There's so much going on here. According to this, speculation over Jeffrey Epstein's relationships with powerful global figures has attracted attention for years, and interest has only grown since President Trump signed a law mandating the DOJ release the files that it has on the case. And those people associated now being, you know what it is? Now that people are starting to go through these things, they're starting to find. You got the Kathleen Rumbler, she's out. Obama's attorney. You got Pritzker, he's out. The governor's brother who was running the hotels. You got King Charles formally stripping Andrew of all his royal titles. He was evicted from his residence as a consequence as well. He's the former Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Also, his wife, his ex-wife, I should say, Sarah Ferguson, she is out. This guy named Sultan Aman bin Salman. He was a chairman and CEO of DP World until earlier this month when the Dubai government announced the appointment of a new CEO and chairman without even mentioning the guy. His exact relationship with Epstein remains somewhat unclear, though he was one of 6 men whom Representative Ro named on the House floor having connections with Epstein. Then you've got this guy out of the UK, Peter Mendelsohn, and Morgan McSweeney. The UK sacked its ambassador. This is the guy that Keir Starmer appointed. Over relations he maintained with and a close relationship with Epstein, closer than they previously knew. And then Keir Starmer's own chief of staff, Morgan McSweeney, he resigned his position over recommending Mendelsohn for that post. So now you've got.
Let's just pause this here.
Yeah.
Vin, how many people that Rick Delgado just mentioned do you know?
Personally?
0.
None.
Okay. Kevin Downey Jr. Of the names Rick Delgado just mentioned, how many of them you recognize?
Well, I only know a few because I've been following the Epstein stuff. But other than that, Prince Andrew, and that's it.
Okay. Same for me. Go ahead, Delgado.
Thorbjorn Jagland, the former prime minister of Norway, charged with aggravated corruption last week over his ties to Epstein. So he's being brought up on charges in Norway. Kathleen Rumbler, who I mentioned. And then this guy who I mentioned the other day, Casey Wasserman, the top Hollywood agent, whose clients include Chappelle Roan, Ed Sheeran, Kendrick Lamar. Well, it turns out now, since everybody's fleeing his talent agency, Damon, he is now selling his businesses after communications with convicted Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell were exposed as part of that DOJ Epstein file dump.
But again, I asked this yesterday. What did he do?
His cozy relationship with, I guess he had a very flirty relation. You know what? It doesn't matter because he was mentioned as having a relationship with people that were known to be pedophiles. And now that since that's gotten out, nobody wants anything to do. And this is exactly what should if they're not going to be brought up on charges, they need to be pushed out into the street so everybody can see exactly who they are and they can live with this disaster that they brought upon themselves. So now he's not
the disaster of emailing this guy.
No, the disaster of having a relationship with a guy after he was already a convicted pedophile. That's the crime. And you know what? It's a culture crime. You know, if they're going to hold everybody to a certain standard, well, then guess what? It has to be done to the left as well. Who else? Who else do you say? So Casey Wasserman, he's not only losing his agency, but now look at this. Turns out the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen, she looks like a Bass, wants him removed from the Olympic committee that he chairs up for the LA Olympics in 2028. So now he's going to be forced to be removed from that. Another good thing, get this guy out because he doesn't belong there. Obviously, if you're associating with people like the Epstein group, and as we see more and more stuff, and I was talking to Kevin about this as we're walking in because I went down the rabbit hole, man, and the stuff that these people did, the grooming, the trading of children, the destruction of these young people's lives, and none of them get held to account. They talk about cheese and pizza, 1,000 mentions of pizza in these emails. I love pizza. The only time I mention it is Fridays, when we have Pizza Fridays. These people mentioned it all the time because it was a code word for the type of person that they wanted to have sex with, which was underage children. So again,
disgusting.
You're starting to see a lot of this. Tucker Carlson, although, was asked about this, and he was asked if he thinks anyone will ever be arrested. He made a great point. I mentioned this a little bit last night, but here is that clip, cut number 1, Tucker Carlson, about the Epstein files, and if anybody's going to be arrested, cut 1.
Do you think we'll see arrests?
Well, it's been almost 20 years that some of this material has been in the custody of governments. Most of it is still hidden, and there have been no arrests. Instead, there's been a consistent, over decades, effort to shield the people exposed from arrest. So, no, I mean, there may be performative arrests. But the big question is not, was there blackmail? Yes. Was there sex with minors? Of course. Was there some kind of weird religious practice that we would describe as witchcraft? Oh, yeah. But the bigger question is, like, what was this? It's clearly an informal governance body over what the rest of us consider the authorities, which is to say governments, nation states.
Yeah. And basically what he's describing is the people that run everything that nobody knows who they are. They're faceless, the faceless people in charge.
Vin?
You know what? The other thing that struck me with all of this is the amount of business people, elite business people in and around this. If you look at, I think Nancy Mace came out with some statements today that just are so strong because she saw a lot of the unredacted stuff.
Yep.
But it's astonishing to me in totality, all of the people involved in this, because you're not talking about anyone who's just an average Joe. You are talking about the leaders of companies, leaders of legal companies, legal law firms, the leaders in politics, global leaders of the world. You're talking about a plethora of leadership across the board that were all involved with this guy.
Yeah,
many
like
just to have sex. Bill Gates is a shining example of a disgusting individual that did this stuff. But if you just look at the totality, though, the number is astonishing that worked, with this guy and did things with him. That's the thing that blows me away. It's not like, hey, there were 10 people and it was the Clintons and Bill Gates. It's not. It's an enormous amount of people over a long period of time that had a ton of power in this country as business people, as legal scholars, as politicians, and as leaders of countries. All of that. And then you got royalty in there to top it off. I mean, it's not 10 people. It's a ridiculous amount. Really scary that amount of people were centered with this one guy who had this corrupt network, of whatever he was doing, which is obviously not good, but he yielded a lot of power. People that we probably respected at one point, in business and in leadership and in politics. That's the stuff that I find astonishing, besides all the disgusting nature of what he does.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 26 past the hour. We got more to do. Headlines, Kevin Downey Jr., Vinnie Mac, all coming up right after this.
Yep.
Ran on one thing, another. Good.
Chat live in the chat. Can be 412. It's disgusting. Yes, I know.
Astonishing. I use that word astonishing, and it seems to be the word of the day. Astonishing.
Ordinary passenger, red dog. Panama Tom, Barb Brox, D. Singletary.
Yeah, and what's with the witchcraft thing? That's just starting to come out now, too. What, satanic? What were they doing? I don't even, I'm trying not to follow that too much because that stuff just weirds me out. But Delgado, you must know the answers to these pressing blood, questions.
Sacrificing kids. Breaking them mentally, that they break down and then they start hallucinating. They talk about all that stuff. Oh, my God. It's wow. Some of the stuff that I'm starting to come across, and I've been trying not to dive too deep into it because they say once you do, you're going to be completely, it's yikes.
Yep. Has everybody out there on Facebook saying hello?
Crazy is the attachment they had to Harvard.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me. That does not surprise me. A bunch of rich intellectuals.
This medical doctor, he was, I guess, really tight with, talking about how they can start if they can get kids at the toddler age to think that they're trans, they can start drugging them, and how they can market that.
Goodness.
Oh my
goodness.
It's not just, Corn Pop 007 says it best. It's not just sex. It's a satanic worship and cult.
It's certainly looking like that. I mean, that is super, super effed up stuff.
And you know what? I can't.
Uh-oh, don't wind them up.
Isn't it weird that all of a sudden now I think I've had 3 UFO stories in the past week?
Oh, uh-oh.
Do you think
Obama said there are no UFOs?
Do you think UFOs are the, in case of Epstein, break glass?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour on a Tuesday night. Real America's Voice. Rick Delgado's going to do some more news. Kevin Downey Jr.'s got some stories coming up. But right now, let's go to West Palm Beach. Real America's Voice studio, where Vinnie Mac is tonight. Vinnie Mac, what's on the top of your news list tonight?
Well, if we didn't think Alejandro Mayorkas was not the worst anybody we've had in government. I mean, this is the guy that oversaw a closed border. Remember that? Oh, there's not a problem with the border. Well, we can fix this. We can't fix it. All of these excuses and lies. Well, what we have found out is another disgusting truth that came out of the Biden administration, and that is close to 1,000 people were given a quasi backdoor amnesty through the DOJ, which has
a million.
Hang on, is it? Did I? Yes, I'm sorry. What did I say? 1,000? Hey, a million.
1,000.
Holy cow! Yeah. I said 1,000. It's
like
the new
1,000
math,
a
I must
minute.
believe.
Yeah.
1 million. Thank you for that. And so just about 1 million illegals given amnesty, but not given amnesty like they were just given amnesty, said, no, you're free to go. They used a back door through the DOJ and the department that actually tries and judges our immigration laws, and just passed them through and shut the cases down. So by virtue of just doing that, they got amnesty. This was the backdoor way the Biden administration was going to do this with not just 1 million. I'm sure if they had a little more time, they would have done 5, 6 million, 7 million and given them amnesty. It's an old legal trick where, the prosecutor doesn't show up for a trial, for instance, and you could be guilty as heck, but he didn't show up, and, it's dismissed. You're done. There's no charges. So this is a similar type of thing. They used a very dirty trick. It was uncovered. It's being investigated, of course. There's not much we can do about it because it is a legal process. But it is a good indication of how devious and how deliberate the Biden administration was with all of the illegals they let in, and then Mayorkas in particular, and the DOJ back then, who were enabled close to 1 million people to not be tried or held accountable for coming here illegally. They were dismissed and hence given kind of a backdoor amnesty. So that's on my mind, and it's not surprising. Huh?
And 2026 will be the year that the Republicans pick up that ball and run with it, as you're already starting to see. People like Mike Lawler out there talking about amnesty now, just right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, I get the story. I get how bad it was. But the Republicans are going to pick up the ball and run with it on amnesty. They've already started. I mean, I don't understand how they have any credibility. Any Republican has any credibility if they were critical of the open border policy and deliberate nature of that in the past to talk about amnesty in any way, shape, or form. Just because they let 10 million, maybe 20 million people in here illegally, and there might be a quick solution to deal with that or some sympathetic solution to deal with that, and that's called amnesty, that they should be talking about that as something that they would actually do. I mean, it's shameful on their part to be saying that, especially if they were some of the people that were outspoken about open borders, which they were. Every Republican was. Anytime you hear Republicans say, well, we probably need to work something out for the people who have been here a long, you're going to hear it all this year leading into the midterms. Go back and watch Mike Lawler, any interview he's given in the last month on immigration. It's all amnesty talk, backdoor amnesty. And you've heard it from others as well. Well, that's not what we voted for. We clearly voted for, frankly,
deporting everyone that came in illegally. I mean, I know that's what I voted for. I not that I'm not sympathetic to people and that they probably had hard lives and tried to get here, but they came here the wrong way. And I think every single one of them need to go back and come in the right way. And all those people online that they passed need to have some faster paced review for having to put up with all of that. Yeah, that's disgraceful.
Speaking of this, Vin, Marco Rubio was overseas. I haven't watched the speech, but people say the speech he just gave was another banger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, home run.
I think midway through, I think he had to stop talking a couple times for applause breaks. Like, who gets that?
He is amazing. But he said something in particular, Damon, and it's something that we all get very complacent about in this country. We get complacent about so many things. But getting a visa to come into our country is not a given. It's not an assumed thing. Marco Rubio made the point that no foreign nation has a right to a visa in America. It's not like you deserve it, just apply for it. It's a gift from our country to allow you in. Now, that may sound like a little snobbish. That may sound however you want to take that. But that is the reality. You don't just apply and you get in. And that's what people think. And that's what most foreigners think, I believe, coming into this country. And Marco was making the point, not just for the United States, but really every country should be thinking this way. Otherwise, you have no control of anything. It's not a rubber stamp. So I think he's putting some boundaries around, migration in general, globally. The Europeans, I don't know if they've learned their lesson. So Marco was making a pretty strong point that it doesn't benefit your national interest by just having rubber-stamped visas and letting anybody in. So it was a strong point. I hope some people around the world start, heeding his advice.
Vin, did you hear this line? I thought this was a grand slam where Marco Rubio says, "We in America have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline." I thought that was a grand slam right there. We're not going to sit here and watch it happen.
Yeah. He's so good, isn't he? The way he phrases everything. Sorry, Damon, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask all of you, and I'm going to ask the chat too to weigh in here in the chat. At any point, do we think this Rubio Vance ticket is it still Vance Rubio, or at any point does it become Rubio Vance, or is that not possible given that JD's the VP?
Well, Marco already said, and he said it on record. He said, if JD Vance runs, I'm not going to run. He made that announcement a few months ago.
At the top of the ticket.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he couldn't be on the ticket.
Oh, no, he would probably be VP. He's just saying he wouldn't run for president if JD Vance was going to run for president.
Vin, what do you think?
I think you make it an exceptional point. If you're really thinking about this, the stronger global leader right now out of our government between those two guys, and I love J.D. Vance, is Marco Rubio. He has performed. Trump says, he's the best Secretary of State ever. I believe it. He is. He is spot on with everything, and he's everywhere, and he's had to be involved in so many different things and done a spectacular job. And we're only a year in. So I think there's a really good argument to be made. Now, I would be happy with either of those guys winning the presidency, but you can certainly make an argument that maybe Rubio should be the lead dog in that race.
I'm seeing a lot of that in the chat.
It.
I'm seeing a lot of it come through in the chat with Rubio first. It's surprising, Kev.
You know what? I always thought it was going to be J.D. Vance. I really like, Marco Rubio. I like to say it that way, like you're in the pool.
Marco
Rubio. I think he's really coming out as a statesman here. I think he looks great. I'll vote for them either way. I don't care. I think it's a great ticket any way you slice it up. Imagine 8 years of Vance and 8 years of Marco Rubio after 4 more years of Trump. That's 60, 70, 80, that's 20 years. That's a lot of years of...
That's about what we'll need to right the ship.
Yeah, we're going to need it.
Yeah.
True.
All right, speaking of Kevin Downey Jr., that's a good lead-in to his top story of the day, which we've actually been talking about, Kevin. That's what's going on in Virginia.
Yeah. So what's going on? And, folks, if you don't see this by now, just stop voting. Just stop voting. If you don't see that some communist is going, hey, look at me, I'm so in the middle. Man, oh middleman. I'm the middleman. That's what they call me, the middleman. They're lying. Kamala tried it. Biden tried it. They are lying. They're always going to lie. This is what communists do. They know they can't sell what they want, so they lie. Or they try to bring in voters who will vote for them because, you're putting food on their table and a roof over their head. But this woman, she really pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. First of all, she taxed everything. You know the Beatles song, Tax Man? You take a walk, they'll tax your feet. Go for a run, they'll tax the street, whatever. I don't remember. But
we're speaking of Abigail Spanberger here, the new governor of Virginia.
Yeah. She taxed everything, gym memberships, everything. And that's what communists do. They tax you into submission. And right away, look at all the nonsense she's done. And, of course, she dropped all the buzzwords. Affordability and housing and health care and energy and the real challenges, da-da-da-da-da. And now she is acting like a complete lunatic. She's not only taxing people, everything she said she was going to do, she's not doing. I mean, I saw this. You saw this. I'm not blaming you or me. It's the normies we got to get to, folks. It's not even your blue-haired Gorgon-in-law. This would be like the normies go, well, I don't really know. When Trump is president, he's Republican. Maybe I'll vote for some Democrats for Congress. We have to stop that. The midterms mean everything now. And this woman, wow, look at this. I shall read her broadcaster's voice. Yet Spanberger is no moderate, as any cursory study of her history and politics demonstrates. It has taken less than a month into her tenure as the first female governor, check that box, first female governor of Virginia, to expose her true colors as a leftist ideologue. It's terrifying how quickly the examples have piled up. And they've got plenty of examples here. And this is exactly what the plan is. Pretend you're a moderate and get in and then tear the place up. And she's been doing that since she got in. I'm not shocked. You're not shocked.
No.
But feel free to punch your normie neighbor who voted for this in Virginia, because the Virginians are really going to pay the price for this.
Once they get the power, they know what to do with it. And that's what we've been talking about when it comes to her in Virginia. The maps they're pushing. We talked about the redistricting maps. And I see people comment on it. Oh, I can't believe this. Oh, this is so... They don't give a damn what you think about their redistricting maps. If they could have gotten all of the maps and all of the districts to be represented blue, no matter how many Republicans live in these districts, they wouldn't care. Because this is what they do. When they assume power, Republicans assume office. That's the difference.
Well, Republicans assume the position, Damon.
Well, that too.
Let's get that straight.
They do that very well as well. They assume the position.
Yeah.
They've got 11 House reps in Virginia. This might leave the Republicans with 1 out of 11 in a state where 46% of the voters, I shouldn't say the voters, the people who voted, whether they can legally or not, voted for Trump. 46% in Virginia. They will have 1 GOP rep.
Yeah,
but this is deception.
What'd you say, Ben?
That's what this is. I said this is deception. That's what this is. It's pure deception. You run on what you believe you're going to do and your beliefs as a person and a leader, and then you govern a completely different way. Joe Biden, this has happened before. We saw this coming. We've talked about this whole thing in Virginia. She lied. She was deceptive. And so you're going to see this from many Democrats, because they see the way to win is moderate and the way to govern is progressive, to stay in office. So this is no surprise to me.
I think we've seen that throughout history, that this is what they do. They always tack to the center for the general, and then they hit hard back to the left once they get in power. So,
by the way, it's 5 years ago, I think yesterday, that we lost the great Rush Limbaugh, so I wanted to make notice of that. We all miss Rush.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
The greatest to ever do it. 5 years. Unbelievable. All right, 17 till the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Chat live in the chat. 417 Raiders. Tumbleweed farmer, college grad failure, Kathy G. Vivian from Michigan, Nancy Burns, everybody in the Twix chat. Honey K.
Patriot
Honey K
Vivian
is in there.
Any mention of Robert Duvall's passing? John D. 6307. I think we talked about it yesterday, didn't we?
We didn't get really a chance to dive into it. No.
The consigliere, the best consigliere there was.
He was an icon. Definite icon. Kind of like Kevin Downey Jr.'s glasses.
That's right.
They're very Harry Carey.
Julie GB. Hello, Julie GB on Rumble.
Hey, I'll do this in my broadcaster's voice.
Oh man.
Let's see. Lynn Deutsch, Saint Patty, Bill Moore, Les Durham, Katz B.
Bill Maher, did you say?
Bill Moore. Broke spoke.
But Bill Maher was watching the show, you know?
Manny C on X says he was listening to KDJ this morning.
Wow.
Oh.
Thank you for listening.
How you doing?
Commander Mike. Tumbleweed Firmer.
How's Dad, Damon? Dad is home.
Is he? He went home today?
He went home today.
How did he handle the trip?
Oh, I saw a picture of him at home, so I guess he handled it fairly well.
That's good.
So Dad's home, on the road. On the road, so.
Sergeant Army, Ed the Great, the road less traveled, small
Damon,
town.
all your stepchildren
Army.
are here in Facebook, Eileen Brooks says.
Are you on Facebook?
Okay.
Are you on the Facebooks?
Well, I have them all here, so mine goes a little faster than all you guys, so I try to catch as many as I can.
Kate, Evan.
Damon, did you see all the dog crap on Mondani's sidewalks? No.
I did.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did
brutal.
I got some clips of him. Oh man.
You talking about his cabinet or the actual?
No, actually, it's starting to look like San Francisco.
We're on our way.
I guess all the snow melted, and they left them with poop.
Bunch of commie mom Donnie street kebabs. That's what I call poop.
Didn't take long, did it? I mean, he's only been in office for 30, 45 days or something.
In some ways, in respect to what we just talked about with Spamberger, at least we knew what we were getting with him. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Want to say hello to everybody in the chat. All of you watching on all social media, Real America's Voice or at LFS6B, we appreciate it. Always the best chat on television is every night right here, 8 to 10 in there. Fired up, everybody is. Good to see everybody in there. Slick Rick's off tonight. He's got some water in the basement. He just texted us. It doesn't sound great. Sounds like it was not good. So,
yeah, it doesn't sound great. Sounds not good.
Sounds stinky. So,
his clothes are going to be good. You know, if you add water to his shoes, they get brighter. So this might actually work. They're like plants. They're going to grow.
Yeah, it might be okay. So, Delgado's doing some news. Kevin Downey Jr. is here, the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show. He's going to do some more news. Fran holding it down on the big board. Harry spinning the tunes. There they are. How you doing, Harry? All right, good. Very good.
Glad you got off the couch, Harry. Fran's not happy about that.
All right, so here's a good one. I've been wanting to talk about this, and I actually didn't see the clips till earlier today. And I just couldn't believe. Not that I should be surprised, but this is a good one for everybody to jump in on, because speaking of obviously it's a little early, having some fun with it, but the 2028 tickets, we talked a little bit about our side. Let's talk about the other side for a second.
Oh, my God. Damon, the bench is, it's people you wouldn't put on the bench.
Well, I saw a graphic. I'm sure it was fake. I'll put out there just for clicks, but it was good. With them back-to-back, Kamala, and the subject of our next story here, and that would be AOC.
Yes.
And it is amazing when you take a bartender from Boston College and throw her into Congress. This is going about exactly as you would think it would be going, especially on the world stage, which she was on, I guess, this week. And, well, let's just say it She didn't sound like she just jumped out of the Mensa meeting to go take this trip. Let's put it that way.
No, as Alex Stein would call her, big booty Latina AOC made her trip overseas to Europe, to Germany in particular, and got absolutely wrecked by simple questions. And she has been mocked as an absolute train wreck over the weekend on the global stage. She basically made a fool out of herself. Even Governor Whitmer from Michigan, she was wildly mocked.
Easy for you
saying,
to say.
yeah, I guess. I'm starting to catch a little AOC
you sound
myself.
like AOC right now.
For saying AOC was much more steeped in foreign policy than she was.
Yeah.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York is being mocked for what one critic called an absolute train wreck weekend full of gaffes while in Germany for the Munich Security Conference. I guess they didn't check her badge and they let her in anyway. One of the leading voices of the Democrat Party and rumored, Damon, 2028 potential front runner.
Yeah.
Front runner.
Uh-huh.
AOC was ripped for several comments she made this weekend, including one in which she attempted to mock Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Let's just get to the clips because, well...
By the way, I support her as the front runner.
Yeah,
I want her to be the front runner.
I love
100%.
I want her and Kamala absolutely to run together. Lock that ticket in right now if we can.
Yeah.
I'll campaign for it.
And maybe throw in a little Eric Swalwell as her VP. That might be nice. Here is AOC. This is cut number 2. I guess she's just getting applause for being dumb. I don't know why they're applauding, but here it is, cut number 2. You got to see it to believe it. Check this out.
You know, we look at what happened in Venezuela, for example.
Venezuela.
It is not it is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator. And
Claps for that. They have no idea what she just said.
Exactly. Well, you know what it is? She sounded like one of those news reporters that has a Hispanic name that they have to read, and all of a sudden jumps into the rolling of the R's.
She does say I like the way she said Venezuela and
Venezuela.
Maduro. Yeah, and Maduro. That was nice.
Yes.
I'll take equators for 500, Bob. Thank you.
I'm surprised she could say the word equator because it's got a Q in it. Here's cut number 3. Here's AOC. Obviously, she didn't get the question beforehand, but here she is talking about Taiwan. And this is what happens. The one. Yes, this is what happens when you don't get the question beforehand at least 2 weeks so you can study and know what to answer. Cut number 3. Check this out.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
Watch her body go.
You know, I think that this is such a, I think that this is a...
yeah, but spit it out.
Mm-hmm. This is, of course, a very long-standing policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. And we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
Right. So basically, this is what it looks like when your 12-year-old shows up for school after not reading the book and they have an oral report due for the book report today. That's what you get with AOC.
You know what?
This is a scene from Spies Like Us. Right?
I can't get beyond the fake accent on certain words. You know? You're never going to say, KDJ, what kind of motorcycle did you buy? And I'm going to go, oh, Kawasaki! Kawasaki, no Honda!
Yeah. You're not going to do that. No.
That would be racist.
You know what? I think you should. I think it would be more fun.
But she's kind of like Delgado, like Puerto Rican, so she can say it like that,
well,
right?
Well, no, she actually is better than me on that respect. I can't roll my R's quite the way she can, but at least I know when to and not when to use and not use new words and phrases when I learned them for the first time. She decided to do that in Germany, Damon. Here's cut number 4. This is what you get with new words and new phrases. It's called a word salad. Cut 4. Check this out.
I think what we identify is that in a rules-based order, hypocrisy is vulnerability. And so I think what we are seeking is a return to a rules-based order that eliminates the hypocrisies around when too often in the West we look the other way for inconvenient populations to act out these paradoxes.
Yeah, these paradoxes.
What has been will be.
How many words can I throw into 3 sentences?
And then I was flummoxed.
Hey, whoa. I mean, that's not even it. I guess it's English, but what is that?
I think Kamala wrote that for her.
I think it's even worse than her.
Yeah. It's just amazing. But don't worry, because J.D. Vance came to her rescue, Damon. Here's what the vice president had to say once he had to see what he might be up against come 2028, as she is, of course, the Democratic frontrunner. Cut number 5. Here's J.D. Vance.
My takeaway from that.
What happened there? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a person who doesn't know what she actually thinks. And I've seen this way too much in Washington with politicians where they are given lines, and when you ask them to go outside the lines they were given, they completely fall apart because, look, does anybody really believe that AOC has very thoughtful ideas about the global world order or about what the United States should do with our policy in Asia or our policy in Europe? No, this is a person who is mouthing the slogans that somebody else gave her. The Democrats' policy actually is on all these very, very important questions. Look, that was embarrassing. If I had given that answer, I would say, you know what? Maybe I ought to go read a book about China and Taiwan before I go out on the world stage again. I hope that Congresswoman Cortez has the same humility. I'm skeptical.
Yeah. So there you have it. The vice president, he couldn't not laugh when he had to see.
Can we see the first second of that clip again, friend? This is reaction there. If we have it.
My takeaway from that.
What happened there? What do you think?
Well, I think it's.
Oh God, that's a great reaction. All right, live from Studio 6B. That's a quick wrap. Hour 1, hour 2 coming back. More news with all the boys right after this. Maybe it's not down for everybody, but it seems like it's down for a lot of the world. YouTube is down, looks like, for a lot of people. Maybe not for us, but they just put out a statement saying we do not have a fix yet for the massive outage. We've been looking into this issue, and while we don't have a fix just yet, we're keeping a close eye on it. We'll provide any updates when they're available.
Yeah, we're still on. I see Lorraine Donato just chimed in. Allie Lane is in there.
Okay. Well,
Rose Petal, Les Durham. Sky N4Z, Storm Sky.
I love when these things happen, like with the phone companies. And now Chris Pavlovsky from Rumble's out there going, Rumble's always up. Come on over.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for warning me, Fran. There's a what? There's a what? Up to 10 skiers missing after horror avalanche.
Oh, my God,
Tahoe.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? Lake Tahoe?
Lake Tahoe.
Oh, no. Yeah, a lot of people saying YouTube's out. Were they?
Well, it's not out here. Thank goodness.
By the way, people on X saying you can't find the live stream. If you go to our profile and around the little picture of me in the cowboy hat, you see the little pink outline. Just click on it.
Yeah.
And then you hit open live video. I don't know. X is having some issues with actually making it a post as well on the timeline. So you have to click on the little icon profile picture that has the little pink outline around it. That tells you that we're live. So you may have to just go to that.
I think sometimes that doesn't work either on the app.
Really?
Yeah, I was not seeing it the other night.
Okay. I don't know what it used to make a post, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's right now on the Android app, it's not showing up as live at all.
Well, that stinks.
Here's another story. Are we being prepared for an alien invasion, Damon?
And I still don't care, Delgado.
And then you've got
Fran, can you hear me?
The one thing I was
we can hear you, Vin.
Reading.
Now we can.
Oh, yeah, it was off there for a bit. I don't know what happened.
Regarding the crashed alien spacecraft that they actually had.
Harry, turn the music up. Live from Studio 6B. Can't even hear it.
Well,
9 o'clock on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in wherever you're watching. On Real America's Voice.
Who's working the board?
Media. Across the country. What?
I think usually
Who's working the board?
Well, Harry on the highway is working the board, but he's got the music so low I can't even hear it.
Well, it's because this time of night he's usually not here. He's at home
He's usually on the
with
couch.
low, sexy music. You know, kind of doing his thing.
Hey, man.
Friends on the big board. Been in the tune.
Come get some, girl.
Harry doesn't give a damn. He's just not going to change anything. He just doesn't care.
He's doing his sexy
Harry
voice.
wants to take phone calls.
We should.
Yeah, call Harry.
Well, we don't have a delay, Vin.
I want.
Yeah, Vin,
I don't care. I still want to take phone calls. Caller, are you there? Caller. Caller, are you there? I just want to say that. Yeah.
Hey, first time, long time. Vin, how you doing?
I really think we should be taking phone calls.
What'd you say, Harry?
Let's take a poll. Let's take a poll.
Oh, my goodness.
How many people want us to do phone calls next week? Shoot Damon just talk on the chat.
Okay. All right. Harry wants to do it.
I want to do calls. Yeah, I want to do calls. I want to take surveys and polls.
Give them your
Damon, do you remember this? Damon, you remember we took phone calls one time, and I remember my cousin, who finds everything I say outrageous on the show, completely appalled by what all of us say, would watch the show on a regular basis, and he called in, disguised his voice, and Harry's like, hey, we got like Bob from Freeport on. I'm like, wait a second, that's not Bob from Freeport. That's my cousin. Don't put him on. Yeah, he was completely freaked out.
Oh, man.
Disguised his voice and everything. Harry, do you remember that?
Oh, man, yeah.
He only remembers the sexy sounding ones.
No, I remember, Vin. I also remember when we were in D.C. and Solomon, myself, Parker, we were all picking up the calls. So I think we had 4 phones going at that time. It was really good. No,
All right, well, let's see what the
we
chat.
should do it.
Let's see what the chat wants to do. If you want us to take phone calls from you, Harry says next week. Harry, is that what you said? Well, you're here this week. Why don't we do it this week?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't actually want to have to answer them.
All right, put a 1 in the chat if you want us to take phone calls on Thursday night. Or 2 if you think that's just a horrific idea like I do. I'll put a 2 in the chat now.
I'll phone a friend.
We're getting pro phone call in the Facebook chat.
So 1 for yes and 2 for I'm with Big D. This is a horrific idea that's going to go way off the rails. Oh, my God, the 1s are coming so fast. This is a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
This is a disaster. All right, 2. Somebody's got a couple 2s. So many people have it.
Let me take them. I take them every day. I live for it. I live for it.
No, I don't think we can do it without it. I don't think we can do it. Man, there's a lot.
I know
of
it's
ones.
$2.95
there's
a minute.
a lot of ones.
It's $7.95 a minute. Hey, speaking of
It's $7.95 a minute.
That's usually what Harry pays.
Can I ask why the FCC? Is the FCC would be the one to oversee this? Why can't the FCC put an end to me being offered $50 million a day in loans that I'm just at the last step of getting approved? My phone rings 50 times, maybe more.
You too?
And every one of them says you're at the final stages of your loan thing, and they're leaving me these messages. I think I've been offered $1 billion in the last month.
I get so many of those calls.
You're not even Somalian.
And I'm not even Somalian. I haven't taken any. Why can't we stop this?
Who are those people?
What is going on?
Because they have money
the advertising geniuses that came up with that.
These are the NGOs. They're trying to reach out to us and buy us off, so we stop talking about it. No, I get those all the time. You know what, though? Don't bother me if it's 40 or 50 grand. My starting number is 75.
Oh,
these people, with their we're 40,000. It's like 40,000. Come on, stop.
I get them on the real estate side too. Hey, are you interested in selling? And then they put my address in there. I'm like, yeah, starting bid is $10 million.
I like getting those because I rent an apartment.
Okay, but I don't understand why we can't put an end to these damn. You're at the final step of a loan deal. I've been offered
Nigerians need to make money
in the last month, I think.
And how are we not in Vegas then?
Well, because
you should be gambling that money away. And you know what? Shame on them for placing their faith in you to pay it back.
Is the money from Nigeria, Carl wants to know on Facebook. It may be. I don't know.
It may not be in dollars.
Yeah. But God, it's annoying. You get so many of them. You can't block them because they just changed the number to, something else.
It could be pesos.
I'll take it in lira. That's about it.
Yeah, they go very far with that.
All right.
How much is Coke with a slice of pizza? 50,000 lira. Okay, there you go.
All right,
Looks
Vinny
like
Mac.
you feel like you're rich.
Speaking of money, Minnesota Democrats, they say they want some money, huh?
Can you believe this story? Just when you think it can't get any more insane and people that are so detached from reality, you get the leadership out of Minnesota basically trying to get money out of the federal government for the cost of the riots and all the lost business and the destruction and everything that happened in their city, while they at that time encouraged the pushback, the violence, the invaders, all those things. Come to the streets. What do you think's going to happen? You think Dunkin' Donuts can still serve coffee with all those people in the streets causing all kinds of havoc? Businesses went out. People lost a ton of money. Damage was done everywhere. People walked out on their jobs and didn't even work. All of these things. And now the federal government is the one that you're asking to come save you after, by the way, $18 billion in fraud with the Somalis. Put that on top of it. Just think of the economic nature of in Minnesota right now, between the Somali fraud and all of the monies that they really lost because they encouraged these stupid riots of police officers actually arresting people that do harm to you in your city. That's the irony. And they encourage it, and they're looking for money. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Doesn't surprise me because we have some of the biggest morons in the world leading Minnesota, the mayor and the governor. Two complete idiots that should not be in office. So, this is going to go nowhere unless, of course, the Democrats are in office, and then they'll give them $25-30 billion to make up for this, as they normally do. And that money will find its way down to the trickle-down theory that they use there for all their corruption into all sorts of hands and NGOs and everything you could possibly imagine. So just when you didn't think it could get any crazier or worse, Damon, this comes up and pops into the news. And it's a real request. This isn't like some story that just showed up somewhere. This is an actual request by Tim Walz. He's actually talking about this. I've seen clip after clip where he's talking about this issue. And same thing with that idiot mayor. Can't even look at that guy. I almost despise the mayor more than Walz, but it's a real tough, it's a 1A and 1B as far as despising them, because they're just they're not only not likable, but this level of incompetence. If I screwed up a business and you screwed up an order for a client or something, you don't start asking them to pay for your mistakes. It's sort of like business 101, common sense 101. but they're just so used to getting free money.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think about this, but I laughed.
They have no shame. They have no morals. They have no anything. I mean, for Waltz there, the clapping seal cheerleader, he says the federal government needs to be responsible. You don't get to break things and then just leave without doing something about it, he said, adding that he'll be asking Minnesota's congressional delegation to be doing the things necessary, quote unquote, apparently for reimbursement claims. And then the dumb mayor, Fry there, estimates economic and financial costs to the city to top $203 million. Telling Minnesota Public Radio he'd like to see the state and the federal government help to pay that. I'm not naive, he says, to think that we're going to get the entire amount, adding that about 76,000 Minneapolis residents require relief in some form or another. I mean, it's just the gall and the nerve of these people knows no end. But it goes back to the same thing, just like the spam burger thing. They don't care. They don't care what you think. They don't care how outrageous it is. It's all just business to them. It's all just business. It's ideology first, and it's country last.
Well, let me put it in perspective here. They're the leaders that encouraged their people to fight back and resist police officers trying to arrest really bad people that came to our country illegally and committed crimes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, putting everyone in danger. So are they going to reimburse all those families who were robbed or killed or anything else that's been done to them by illegals that they protected by defying ICE? Are they going to be responsible for that? It's like, which is it? Who's responsible for what? Are you now responsible for all the damage done to these families? Okay, then we're going to go sue you, Governor Waltz and company, for hurting our families and hurting our business or a loved one, et cetera. I mean, it just gets ridiculous. And by the way, I frankly think a lot of these people should be held accountable. A lot of these leaders who come out with this quacky, off-base, left-wing, progressive things like they did in Minnesota, I think they should be liable in some way, shape, or form. There's no other way to stop this. If you say defy police, if you say, stop the invaders, and they go do that, and someone gets killed because of that, which is what happened twice, don't you think they should be responsible in some way of inciting their own people?
Kev?
It's a ridiculous dichotomy, isn't it?
It's kind of like bringing in a bunch of termites and then charging the neighbor for the damage they caused.
Exactly.
That's what it is. We know what they're doing. He just wants someone to make something off of it. I don't know why. I think he's going to be appointed senator by future Governor Klobuchar. He says, I'm not running for anything, but he might be appointed. I don't think he's going away. They never do. Communists always fail upward. He's not going away. Yeah. He's just trying to get a little chowder for his people. Say, look at me, I'm a good leader. I can't see how anyone would vote for him unless you're just a ridiculous communist toilet person. Why would you vote for this guy?
Right. And it could be that he's, he wasn't figuring on getting exposed. And it's like,
of course,
how am I going to pay for the rest of my life?
Yep.
If everybody knows the scam now? Because now, much like Biden, when Biden left office, the entire family went, we don't have a cash cow anymore. His cash cow was Minnesota.
Too. Yeah.
So now he's got problems. So it could be a combination of that. He's trying to look good. Like, look, I'm gonna fight for the people. We're gonna sue, and we're gonna get them to pay for the mess that they create. You made the mess.
Yep.
You clean it up.
Yep.
I saw someone say in Minnesota that there'll be ICE agents that go to jail before Don Lemon ever will. What's the update on that? Any update on that thing?
What, on Don Lemon?
He's got a court date now.
Don Lemon's got a problem. He had a coordinator that is kind of diming him out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. We got more to do. We're back right after this.
Chat live in the chat.
I don't know if everybody saw the warm-up act tonight. We had a really good warm-up act here, Damon, didn't we? At about 7:15 till about 7:45.
Oh yeah.
Just warming up the audience, warming us up as hosts. It was very good.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Some music, some comedy. It was very well-rounded assortment of
music?
entertainment. Yeah, comedy and music.
My favorite part is when he takes shots at you.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I expected that. See who's out there at Facebook land. Sherry Merrill, good to see you. Rob Jackson, Mike Stevens, always great to see everyone out there. Karen Rozo. Thank you. Just saying hello, and I appreciate what you said.
Oh, yeah. No diaper diplomacy tonight.
People are still laughing about the diaper diplomacy and then the Rand Paul baby. I mean, that...
the Rand Paul baby's hair is awesome.
Oh, that was just, like, perfect. It was hilarious. It was a laugh out loud diaper diplomacy one for sure.
Mike Pierce on Facebook, what's going on? Thank you very much. By the way, I posted the show on X. For those of you having trouble finding it now, it should be there as a post at the top.
Diaper diplomacy with AOC and Gretchen Whitmer would be hilarious, according to Julie GB.
Ooh.
Hassenpfeffer. FC Hey Nay. Euro transplant Frederick Leathers. Ed the Great. That's subjective.
Damon, what was the verdict
Ed
on
or
calls?
the Great?
Well, the verdict is, I mean, the ones.
I'm just kidding it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even close.
The Fabmeister.
But I don't know what the call is going to be.
I'll take him.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's not about taking them. Sound like the blues.
Hello.
I didn't hear the blues last night. February is National Cancer Prevention Awareness Month. Now more than ever, we need to be asking what each of us can do to lower our chances of cancer. And if you or a loved one is battling cancer, we need to make sure that no stone is left unturned in the effort to stay healthy. And that's, of course, where our friends at the Wellness Company come in. Wellness Company, we've had their great doctors like Dr. Kelly Victory and Peter McCullough on the show and on RAV all the time. The Wellness Company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust. The Wellness Company is committed to providing safe, low-cost alternatives to Big Pharma. From ivermectin to methylene blue to their fantastic new product, Shield, and so much more. The Wellness Company gives you the opportunity to make the promise of the Maha movement a reality for you and your family. So this February, let's take control of our health. Go right now, www.twc.health/voice and order. That's twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. Prepare now, don't wait. Visit our friends at the Wellness Company, twc.health/voice. They've got great stuff, great products. Packaging is a 10, by the way. Everything I've gotten from them, packaging is just beautiful and well done. twc.health/voice. Save an additional 10% by using code RAV, voice, I'm sorry, promo code VOICE, not RAV, VOICE, for an additional 10% at checkout. All right, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news. Rick Delgado's got main headlines. Hillary Clinton, can she possibly just ever go away? No, I guess is the answer, because now what's she up to, Delgado?
Well, Hillary was, she went overseas as well, Damon.
Why don't you stay there?
She went overseas and she wanted to, espouse all of what she knew. But of course, the people that are doing interviewing over there, they're just as hooked up into this Epstein story as just about everybody else, as Hillary Clinton has now accused President Donald Trump's administration of a cover-up over its handling of the files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. According to the former Secretary of State, she told the BBC in Berlin, where she attended the annual World Forum, get the files out. They're slow walking it.
Well, we all kind of agree that it is a cover-up, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But it's a cover-up of, I don't know. I mean, what kind?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's definitely a cover-up.
We agree with her then.
Right.
Okay.
To a point. But it's the point where she says she has nothing to do with it. That's the point where we have a problem. Okay. And here she is being asked about the Epstein list and the files. Cut number 6, here is Hillary claiming that the Clintons, they have no ties to Jeffrey Epstein, not one whatsoever. Cut 6, check this out.
Do you regret the links that there have been?
We have no links. We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him. Did you
ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions, and thousands of people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not something that is really at the heart of what this matter is about. They are accused, and in both cases were convicted of horrific crimes against girls and women. That should be the focus. And we are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited and totally unrelated to their behavior or their crimes. And we want to do it in public, because let's make this transparent. The survivors deserve that. The public deserves that. But
yeah, what she doesn't tell you, because of course this is how they lie by omission.
Sounds believable.
Is that the behind the scenes, the behind closed doors interview? Well, that is done before you do anything out in public. The Clintons were mentioned numerous times in the Epstein files. Damon are due to appear before the committee. Bill Clinton will appear on February the 27th. Hillary will appear the day before that, on the 26th. A planned vote to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress was shelved after they agreed to testify. It's the first time the former U.S. president has testified to a congressional panel since Gerald Ford did it in 1983. And Kevin makes a good point. She's trying to make it seem like I barely knew these people, except that you invited them to your only daughter's wedding, and not just to the reception, not for a little chicken cordon bleu and a baked potato and a free open bar. No, she was at the ceremony right there. You can see there's a great picture of her sticking her head out as you watch Bill Clinton and Chelsea walk down the aisle. So the fact that she can try to make that claim, well, it was just for a couple of Clinton Global Initiative things. She is we all know what she is. She's a world-class liar, and that is on display once again with what you see there.
I wonder if they had a cigar roller at the wedding.
I love how she says, we'd be happy to talk, but then blew off Congress twice.
Right.
Okay.
And they've been negotiating.
Yeah, we're happy to talk about anything.
They're negotiating so they wouldn't have to talk. Because that's who these people are. They are dirtbags. They are. You can take them out of Arkansas, but you can't take the Arkansas out of them. I'll tell you that much. Comer says the Clintons. He has accused the Clintons of the delay tactic, saying the pair caved as the contempt vote loomed. We have nothing to hide, though, she says. We have called for the full release of the files repeatedly. We think sunlight is the best disinfectant, especially after Bill's been anywhere. You want disinfectant on that. So there you have it. More Epstein stuff. And again,
well, so I don't. What So, what your position is that she's lying as far as her relationship goes, or she's covering for BJ?
Yeah,
Bill Jefferson.
There's more of her connections to the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell thing than she is letting on, including trips to the ranch out in, I believe it's New Mexico.
Yep.
Is that correct, New Mexico?
Yep.
Where they did some heinous things from what I'm reading. So we'll see what happens with that. But again,
I'm going to tell you what happens with that. Nothing. What do you mean we're going to wait and see what happens with that?
Well, because as Damon, as people are getting more into these documents, they're starting to pull out more stuff. You're starting to see some more stuff come out.
Okay, so you sync the 26th with her and the 27th with BJ, Bill Jefferson.
Yes.
We're going to big fireworks here.
No. That's going to be behind closed doors. That's where they're going to show up with their attorneys. They're going to sit for hours, and we're not going to know what was exactly said or asked because they'll be protected because there could be some what do you call it? Things that we're not supposed to know about, some top secret stuff that we're
like
not
everything.
supposed to know about.
Honey K on X says it. Nothing's going to happen. Come on, stop.
Honey K?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'm just telling you what she said, and I agree. If you're waiting for something to happen to the Clintons, I mean, come on. What are we talking about here?
We're seeing members of the royal family. We're seeing members of the of Norwegian hierarchy go down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
UFO stories?
Huh? Actually, you know what, Damon?
We'll have that before we'll have anything happen to the Clintons.
Damon, I said this during the break a little while ago. I think the UFO disclosure stuff is to distract everybody from Epstein.
Okay.
You notice I think I had 3 stories, UFO stories in the past week. I got another one for tomorrow. And isn't it weird how all of a sudden there's UFO stories everywhere as more and more Epstein stuff comes out? And you even have Barack Obama talking about aliens? Is it just a coincidence?
You belong on a UFO.
Weird?
All right, live from Studio 6B.
Where's it going?
Anywhere but the studio. 26 past the hour. More news of Vinnie Mac, Kevin Downey Jr. coming up when we get back on a Tuesday right after this. Iran-Russia-China deal after the interview.
Yep.
Vin's got one thing on Schumer, and then we'll go to your 2 things.
Chat. Live in the chat. I'm just saying. What say you, Vin?
I mean, Vin says you're nuts. I can't hear Vin again.
I know, it's great.
Yeah, what happened? I know it's the second time that's happened.
Harry, do you know how to unmute Vin's mic? We got it. Vin, talk.
Hello.
Okay, we got you.
I do not recall.
Thank you, Hillary. That's going to be
when we've gone to break last time. That's what happened.
Yeah, we got it. We'll be a little quick on the draw here.
You got it.
Chat, live in the chat.
I love people who say, Delgado, I think you're right. No, you don't.
Yes, they do.
No, you don't.
It makes sense.
You don't think he's right.
It
He's
makes
nuts.
sense.
You
don't think they're trying to distract us?
No. By dropping stupid UFO stories that mean nothing?
Because people will gravitate.
Phone home.
You had Barack Obama talking about aliens.
Delgado, I distract you.
I think they do too. I think I read somewhere.
Why are you doing crab boy hand there, Damon? What is that?
Well, that's Nanu. Mork and Mindy.
That's Spock.
He's sitting there going,
that's Spock. That's Spock.
No, it was Mork and Mindy, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew that.
Of course.
What do you
What
mean,
do I
of
look like,
course?
an idiot? Don't answer that.
You don't know any of the cultural references I make.
Well, no. Usually I don't know anything. And usually I have no idea what you're even saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the 2 hours? It's 120 minutes. So 118 of the minutes, I have no idea what you're talking about most of the time. But I just let you go.
You don't get in the way. You just let him go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Who are these people?
Shake my head, drink my coffee, and just think to myself, what is he talking about?
What's with that?
What? All right, live from Studio 6B. Let me know on that, friend, whether to go to it or not. Live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in, everybody, wherever you're watching Real America's Voice, all across the country, on social media. We always appreciate you watching the show 8 to 10 weekdays right here on Real America's Voice. Make sure you follow all social medias for both Real America's Voice and Live from Studio 6B at LFS6B, at Real AM Voice. And we appreciate that. Delgado's doing news. Kevin Downey Jr.'s got some more coming up. As a matter of fact, Kate, actually, Vin, let's get to your story. Phil Patrick from Birch Gold, I think, is going to join us here in a bit. But let's get to this one. It's a quick one, but it's just annoying. It's just typical left-wing behavior. Schumer again. We talked about Schumer last night in that clip of him. What's he doing now, Vin?
To amaze me and how dumb he gets and what a lowlife he is. You would think minority leader of the Senate would have some very important things to tackle. You know, you really hope the Senate is talking about real issues, things that matter to the country, things that make our lives better. You would hope they at least talk about these things. We don't see them doing much, but we do hope they would talk about them. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Sorry. And Chuck Schumer decided that the pride flag, which has been in the news a little bit because Trump took it down at the White House there. But the pride flag, he wants to be the equivalent to the United States flag or other military flags. And this is no diss on the gay and the LGBT community at all. Like, they're entitled to have a flag if they want a flag. Everybody's entitled to do what they want. This is a free country, free speech, be as you are, all of these great things. But this is the United States of America. The flag is a sacred thing. Why is Chuck Schumer taking time to try and turn the LGBT flag into a national flag, which would then have to be honored and flown everywhere? It's like, do we have to all just continue to kowtow and say, well, we support this? These are just people, they are LGBT. So what? We got to have a flag for every cause. I like milk duds, so we're going to make a flag because I like milk duds. A flag for anything else people do, a lifestyle choice or a lifestyle born a certain way. Is there a flag for autistic kids now? I mean, all of this stuff that are going to be national flags. I think you can honor your group, your sensitivity to things, or whatever your issue is. Make a flag or put it in your house if you want. You can do that. If you can fly it into business if your business feels like they want to do it. I mean, I'm not for that, but you can do it. But it's the United States USA flag that he's trying to make this equivalent to, and that's just not right. Well, that's not part of what the United States of America is about.
Okay, I don't know if you've noticed, but Chuck Schumer and his party are for anything that's anti-American, and anything they can do to tear the country down from within, they're going to do. And this is just another one of those things that they'll gaslight us on, that they'll make out to be very important because they know the media will back them and run it. But this is what they do. Anything anti-American they can run on in the name of equality or equal justice or level playing field, or everybody's got to be put in the same box as everybody else, they'll do.
Yeah, I see it going even deeper than that. Here's what I see happening there. So all of your points, absolutely taken. But I see them doing this because they know most of us common sense people in this country, Republicans, Trump supporters, MAGA supporters, are going to be like, this is ridiculous. And then we're going to be painted as anti-gay, anti-LGBT, repressors, all of these crazy things. So when Trump comes out, which he will at some point, and say, this is the most ridiculous thing you could possibly do. There's no equivalency to the United States flag and this LGBT flag. Go do it in your own homes or wherever you want to do. Fine. Then they're going to turn around and say he's homophobic. He's anti this, he's anti that. I mean, it's like they're just poking things to poke them for political purposes, and that's all he's doing, besides the kowtowing and the rest of the litany of weak-ass things that they do.
Kev, go ahead. I got to get to Philip Patrick after. We go ahead.
I believe, Vin, tell me what you think, that the LGBT FBI flag is the new Heil Hitler. You say it, you honor it, or we know you're against us, and we're coming after you. I think that's all it is. Pretty much. It's because you know what? I know a bunch of gay people. We get along great. Do I think their flag should be equal to the U.S.? No. Will they call me thisophobe or thatophobe? Yes. I believe this is how they command obeisance. You will fly that flag. You will say Heil Hitler, or we're going to know you're one of them, and we're going to come after you. That's what I think. What do you think?
All right, well, we'll get back to what Vin thinks here in a second, but please welcome back to the show our friend from Birch Gold, Philip Patrick, precious metal specialist at the Birch Gold Group. Mr. Patrick, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you on, and lots of positive things people say in the economy when they look at it. Obviously, inflation continues to cool, not where we want it yet, but gas prices have come down. We've got solid GDP growth. Dow is at 50,000 as the administration. That's kind of their new talking point. Everything is look at this 50,000. But I talk to people and it seems like families still seem a little uneasy with their, when they look at the bank account and they look at the bills on a monthly basis. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, you're right. Look, on paper, the big numbers look steady. Inflation isn't spiking. Gas prices have eased. Employment's been confusing lately, but we're still at historically low levels. But there is a disconnect. Macro stability doesn't automatically mean sort of household relief. And you can see it right now in the polls. The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index is down 11% versus last year. The Conference Board Expectations Index just fell well below the levels that typically suggest recession risk. And I think the tension's telling us something important. People, I think, broadly feel like the economic crisis is over, but they're not still confident about the future. Families are still feeling squeezed. They're coping as best they can, but I think broadly people are not sure whether they can keep up in this sort of new environment. So there's definitely a difference between economic reports and lived experience. And I think this is where the Republicans really need to focus if they want to get something done in the midterms.
And the president is posting things on Truth Social like prices and inflation way down, 401ks way up. Again, Dow at 50,000 they keep pointing to. Isn't that good news, though, for a pretty good majority of the country?
It is. Dow at 50,000 during Pam Bondi's interrogation maybe wasn't the right line, but it's good news. Growing savings is definitely worth celebrating. There's no question, right? But we have to remember our 401ks, our stock accounts, they're not the economy, right? The median retirement savings for individuals is like $40,000. If we count the people that save nothing for retirement, the average balance is less than $1,000. On the other hand, groceries are up 32%, rents are up 31%, house prices 55%, utilities 40%. So even with a healthy retirement account, purchasing power matters a lot, and higher prices are just leaving people much tighter. Saving for retirement isn't about sort of the commas on the 401ks. It's about how far the money will go in 10, 20, 30 years from now. And that's where long-term costs and rising long-term costs become a really important factor.
So when you take a step back and look from the 10,000-foot overview, what are we looking at here in this economy?
I think we're sort of past crisis, if you will. There's no sort of panic in the financial system. Credit markets aren't seizing up yet. Employment hasn't collapsed. So I think all in all, what we're seeing is sort of a tight environment. Growth right now is steady, but it's not explosive. Inflation's lower, but is not gone. Household confidence, I think, broadly is fragile at the moment. And I think it feels less like a boom and more that we're adjusting to a new norm, sort of a permanently more expensive world. And I think in many ways, that's harder than a sharp downturn, because slow erosions like this, they don't trigger alarm bells. We just sort of quietly rewrite the math of our financial future. So it's a tough sort of feels like stagflationary climate on the horizon.
We're speaking with Philip Patrick from Birch Gold. You can text America to 989898 and see if precious metals is right for you. Text America to 989898. Speaking of people in the audience here and the people across the country, when you think of the environment you just described, let's call it like steady but possibly still strained slightly, how should people be thinking about their savings and what they do for the rest of 2026?
Look, I think this is not about panic. It's about preparation, right? We're in a world of, I think, persistent, ongoing sort of 2 to 3% inflation, federal deficits, elevated household costs. And I think in climates like this, diversification starts to become more important, especially for inflation-resistant assets. And I've said this many times on the show, but gold is that, right? It doesn't depend on confidence surveys, on optimistic forecasts. It doesn't adjust its value based on headlines. What it does is it holds purchasing power across economic cycles. It's largely why central banks are buying it today. It's always done that in history. We can't control inflation, right? We can go out and vote. We can sort of be political, but we can hedge against it. And gold and silver do that very well. They've done it for thousands of years. And in climates like this, they do it very well.
Text America to 989898. Get with our friends from Birch Gold. Get a free information kit and see if gold and silver is right for you. Precious metals. Philip Patrick, always appreciate you coming on. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me. Cheers, Damon.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Kevin Downey Jr. is here. Kevin Downey Jr., what else is on your news radar?
Oh, plenty of fun stuff. You know, this transgender shooter, well, just so many lately. I guess I better talk. This is the one from Rhode Island who massacred his family.
Hockey deal.
The hockey deal. So, turns out the transgender mass shooter is a big old racist. He's got Nazi tattoos. He's got a Totenkopf, which is it's a skull with the crossbones, something that the SS used, Hitler's SS. He's got an SS on his arm. He's dropping white power all over the internet. This is why they call us Nazis, folks, because they know that they're the Nazis. Remember the guy running for Senate in Maine? He's got a very similar tattoo. It's a Nazi tattoo. He's got it on his chest over his heart. He had no idea it was a Nazi thing. Just give me the big, is it Nazi? I don't even know. Just put it over my heart because that's how I feel. But this one, white power all over the place. It's amazing. He's dropping racial slurs for Chinese people. He's doing all this stuff. And the left doesn't know what to do. They have no idea. Those transgenders are mostly peaceful. Oh, all right. Not this one. But the fact that he has Nazi tattoos and he's a big white power. He loves Hitler. He's talking about a song that Hitler liked, even though a Chinese person wrote it. And that's not the phrase he used, Chinese person, at all. Big Nazi lover. He's into his white power. And he's got some Nazi tattoos because why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? And they don't. The best part is they're freaking out. This is one of their golden children. And there's nowhere they can go with this. He's everything they pretend to hate.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll wrap it up when we get back. A little more from everybody, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night right after this.
Chat live in the chat one last time. Man, that's a fast show tonight, right?
Yeah.
It seems like every night it's just...
Even with Harry here.
Flying by.
Flies by. No matter how hard I try to get to everything, I can never do it.
Let's jump through the chats real quick. 417 Raiders, Kathy G, Tina. Oh, it went by so fast. Where did Tina's name go? Tina with the last name. I can't find it. Oh, my goodness. Commander Mike, Pitchfork 22, Gary Haas, Manny C, Kit Kat, Tumbleweed Farmer, College Grad Failure, Donita, Nancy Burns. Everybody in the Twix chat there. Honey K. Philco. I haven't seen Philco in a bit. Marcelo is in the chat. Jinx.
Marcello. It's a CH. Marcello.
Bowser Roadkill in the YouTubes. Tina Morgan. Bicycle Lady Aradia, whatever that is. I can't read that. John Seaton. Storm Sky. Daniel Kawahi. Rose Petal 2. Because there are so many unanswered questions from Rose Petal 1, I believe.
It is pretty amazing.
Randy Smith.
Fox put up a graphic tonight. Dem presidential polling, RP 2028. Kamala Harris is in a pretty significant lead still at 30.5%. Newsom's at 21.5%. They can't be this stupid, can they?
Yeah.
To do this again?
Yep.
Oh, they can.
Buttigieg at 8.6%, AOC at 7.5%, and Josh Shapiro at 5.7%, coming in dead last.
I don't think Pete Buttigieg has a chance.
No. Levi J in the Rumble Red, Julie GB, Eurotransplant. Sweet Dreams, Eurotransplant. Never Slept. Says it's all fake, Damon. Dunlap and McCoy.
It's all ball bearings.
It's all ball bearings these days.
It's all ball bearings.
What do you got there, Gordo?
Come on.
Astrotech 2.
Look.
You don't need to tell me where it is. I was just checking out the luggage. Live from Studio 6B, our nightly Fletch. Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do some news. Vinnie Mac's in West Palm Beach. Kevin Downey Jr. Let's try to get to everybody. Vinnie Mac, I'll come to you one last time. What else we haven't touched on that you have?
Well, I did have a story, but I want to preempt that story with something that's been bugging me for a couple of days.
Okay.
And it kind of hit a little highlight today, and that is this a slight rash that I have under my thing. The whole Iran thing. This negotiations going on with Iran, the implications of Iran. I spoke to a really famous pastor today who reminded me that Iran is one of the few countries actually named in the Bible. And there are, the implications of that particular country biblically and through prophecies and so on. It really got me thinking about it today because I don't want to see a settlement here. Maybe I'm just one of the few people that feel this way, but they should not be in power. These mullahs, they're evil. They should not have any weapons. They should not have any nuclear weapons for sure. And this entire country has to change completely. And I don't think you get there with a negotiated settlement. I don't think, okay, we agree to eliminate our nuclear war machine there and our ability to make a nuclear bomb and all that kind of stuff, and that's the negotiation. It's just not enough for me. I think something by force or some other way needs to happen. I think we need to be the country to actually make that happen. We're the only one that'll actually do it. They can't be trusted. They're evil. That part of the world is dangerous. And
Well, you know, I brought this up like 3 weeks ago that it looked like to me like the administration was, I don't want to make getting soft may be a little too strong of a word, but and you all told me now he was going in. You told me Super Bowl Sunday he was going in, and you told me you had no doubt that something was going to happen. And right now it seems like we're getting farther and farther away from help is on the way that we heard.
Yes, and that's a great point because you're right. You brought that up. And I came back and said, no, I think he's going to go in. I sincerely did. I still think he will. But I'm frustrated with this entire thing right now. It has dragged on. All I hear is this negotiation. I'm all for negotiations. Of course, we want things handled peacefully. But, you know, this is probably one of the most evil empires, governments that there is. They have been in the middle of just about every bad thing that's happened to our country and even globally, to their own people, to the Palestinians, to the Israelis, to the United States, and so on and so forth. These are bad people, and they're bad leadership, and they're evil. And I just don't think you solve that through negotiation.
Now, Vin, hold on. You're telling me that a bunch of suicidal jihadi daddies who cut off heads are not good people? We can't talk to them?
Yeah, I know it's a stretch. Believe me.
I'm with you. They should have been blown up, I don't know, a week ago. They should be gone. There should be celebrations in Iran tonight. I'm hearing as many as 50,000 protesters have been killed.
Yeah.
That's what some people call a genocide. Well,
that's
the Hamas
that's
fans,
incredible.
anyway. Yeah,
I mean, I have the same problems I had over the weeks we've talked about this. Is we've got this Steve Witkoff, who's really in, I guess Jared Kushner or whoever else, in the middle of these talks that are going through Geneva or whatever. Trump's really seemingly not involved. I mean, I guess he knows what's going on, obviously. But these guys just keep saying, "Oh yeah, we want to make a deal. Want to make a deal." Well, who's believing them? It seems more and more the time goes by, it's hard not to just think, well, these guys must really think, they're starting to believe that they really want to make a deal. How? How is that possible?
Well, you know what? President Trump did send the Gerald Ford now into that area. Okay. So, I don't know. You don't send something like that, the world's biggest warship around the world, just for a goof.
Two of them now. USS Gerald Ford and the Abraham Lincoln are both there.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. So maybe they're, you know.
Well, I think one's there and one's in the area.
One's en route.
And Trump said, I think it was actually in the diaper diplomacy from yesterday.
They just can't be trusted, though.
Well, that's the thing.
And that is your point. It's a good one. They cannot be trusted.
We're going to play the long game here? I mean, I understand everybody, you know, if we can avoid any confrontations, probably always better. But, I mean, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is to me. There's no gray area either here. That they've been partnering with Russia. They've been partnering with China. They've done all the bad things that we've already noted. They're bad people. They cannot be trusted. This is just a leadership. 50,000. If that number, let's just say that number is an exaggeration, and it's 25,000. I mean, these are huge numbers to kill protesters at that level, and I would think that alone, on top of everything that we know, but that alone should drive the Trump administration to say, we just cannot have a conversation anymore.
No.
Let's just go take care of business and move on. And to Delgado's point, we really weren't prepared to go into that region of the world with the arsenal that we're going to need to do the job. So maybe they're buying time. Maybe they're doing a lot of that stuff. That was what I felt back in Super Bowl Sunday, and I was wrong. And it's taken longer, but I hope the end result is still the same.
And now they're war gaming with China and Russia. Did you hear about that? They're supposed to meet.
Yeah.
Supposed to meet. One of these mullahs comes out and he's dropping his obnoxious words on Trump. Oh, Trump, look at you now. And they're war gaming with China and Russia. They're preparing for World War III. I don't think when push comes to shove, China is actually going to lose an aircraft carrier for Iran. I mean, I know they're happy to slaughter their people to take a hill in Korea somewhere back in the 50s. And I don't like that they do that. But how far are they willing to push us? Unless they realize that if Iran goes down, the whole globalist New World Order nonsense crumbles with them.
And keep in mind, then we know these people are horrendous people, right? We know they're murderers, dirtbags. They've been a part of all this bad stuff. But why are they still there? Who's making sure they stay there is the question.
Yeah, that's
right?
a really good point.
They have to have protection coming from somewhere. So
yeah, Russia
it could
and
be
China.
part of the larger globalist narrative. Who knows?
Well, think about Gaza. We've talked about this board of peace for Gaza. They've talked about trying to rebuild Gaza. You get rid of Iran, you can actually rebuild Gaza. You can make that into something super special. Yeah. After World War II, Japan was just destroyed, and we helped build that back. There's good things that can come out of this, but not with Iran still there. You're just never going to get any peace with the leadership in Iran. End of story. Nope.
All right, Delgado, anything else on the headlines we haven't touched on?
Yeah, real quick. You were talking about the upcoming 2028 election. Well, independent journalist and YouTuber Nick Shirley is at it again. This time he's exposing voting fraud in California. You got to see this video to believe it, Damon. Cut number 9 as he exposes people who are too old and even a dog. Cut 9. Check this out.
We're just looking for these individuals as they're registered to vote here. John Thomas and Philip Thomas. Is Gloria here by chance? Because she's 100 years old and she voted last election from here.
Can you see my?
I just want to make sure you're not 126 years old.
No, I'm not.
And do you think it's possible like illegal migrants could be voting?
Do you know where the ballots might have gone? Like for 108 people, that were registered here?
When millions of people voting, it leaves room for fraud to occur. Just take these 2 examples.
A Southern California woman is facing 5 felonies after registering her dog to vote in 2 elections. The dog's vote was even counted in one of those elections. Those behind the stunt say she did it to show the flaws of the current system.
Hundreds of people who cast votes according to state records, but we found they've been dead for years, including a woman who died in 1988. And records show she somehow voted in 2014, 26 years after she passed away.
Yeah, Damon. California, a breeding ground for voter fraud in America. Just the tip of the iceberg.
And monkeypox.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, all emergency personnel. Thanks, Kevin Downey Jr., Rick Delgado, Vinnie Mac in West Palm. Great show, guys. Fran, great job. Harry on the highway, good job. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here, live from Studio 6B.
For the Republic.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It easily blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, soap, mildew, mold, and more. Forget harsh chemicals. With just plain water, Horsepower can clean bathroom tiles and tubs back to their original shine and luster. It's a game changer in the kitchen where it busts through caked on crud. Take it outside and tackle